Anna. I'm one of the two Mythical Unicorns. Welcome to our channel and to this series that we call Anime for Beginners. In today's episode we will be talking about slice of life and feel-good animes. As always, the recommendations I'm making are what I believe is gonna be a good gateway anime for someone who hasn't watched anime and would like to get more into it. If there's any animes that you think should have been on this episode that I missed, please let us know down below, and let's get right into it. First up is How to Keep a Mummy, and that came out in 2018. It is about Sora Kashiwagi, who is a high school student who mostly lives on his own because there's no mother in the picture, and his father is a self-proclaimed adventurer and traveler. Even though he's away a lot, he thinks about his son, and he often sends things back home, like presents and things he finds on his archaeological digs. It's a hard word to say, I don't say it a lot. Okay. And then one day Sora comes home and he finds a package that is as big as a grown man. It is bigger than Sora himself. And in the package it says there will be a mummy. So his father sent a mummy home to him. And Sora is kind of freaked out, understandably. I would be too. But he opens the package, he ravels through all the paper, and he finds a mummy that is so small that it can fit in his hand. And it's adorable. It's an adorable little mummy. The mummy is called Mikun, and he quickly gets attached to Sora-kun, who wants to be with him all the time. Just be with him all the time. And now Sora has to try to figure out how to keep Mikun alive? Because is Mikun alive? Or at least how to take care of Mikun, because there are no instructions in the box. He has no idea how to take care of a mummy, and his friends have some weird pets of their own, so they kind of try to figure out how to take care of all these things and help each other out. And I watched this anime in one afternoon. Maybe I started before noon, but yeah, it has 12 episodes, so it's not that long, and it's perfect if you're just lounging around wanting something easy to watch. It is so cute and sweet and really adorable. Next up is Real Life. It is about Kaisaka, who is 27 years old. Life has not gone exactly as he planned. He took a 2-year break after high school, and then he went on to university, which is apparently not that common in Japan, because it's a thing here. I don't know. Anyways, he takes a 2-year break before starting university, and then he finishes university, gets a job, and quits after 3 months. Because that was not what he wanted to do, and he thinks he can do better. Which he apparently couldn't, because since then he has been working as a part-timer at a convenience store. And he's lying to his friends about what he's doing, how it's going. His family is sending him money so that he can pay his rent and so he can live. But then they tell him, we will not send you money anymore. And Kaisake is approached by a guy, at least on the outside, because inside he's still 27. So now he has to go back to high school, he has to redo the whole thing, and it's not going well. And this concept is not that original. We've seen a lot of people getting young again and sent back in time and all that. But for this there is a different concept behind it, that they have the lab and it's an experiment, and Kaisake is not just thrown out there and he's all alone and he has no idea what's going on. He has his handler, Ryu, who gave him the pill and approached him in the first place, and he's around, he's in the same class, taking notes and observing, so if there's anything that's up he can always go ask. Next up we have Frankenstein Family. Tanizu is the youngest of 5 siblings. He also happens to be sort of a genius. He is homeschooled and both his parents are scientists. As scientists, they do experiments. In this case, they have done experiments to their children. And they have done other illegal experiments, and that is why they have been sent to jail. And Tanizu, who is, well, the sort of genius, and he is also the one most capable in human context. So he has to take care of all his siblings and find them a place to stay and food and all of that. All of Tanizu's siblings have special abilities or powers due to the experiments that their parents have made. His older brother Snow is part dog, so he can kind of turn into a dog whenever he wants to, feel like he needs to, which is sort of a lot. He also has 3 older sisters. Aisley is part spider, and she has legs sticking out of her back, and she's really fast. Ashise, she loves flowers, and they kind of grow on her, flowers and plants on her head and stuff, so she doesn't need to eat because photosynthesis, because that is how it works. And lastly, Zuichi, she can read minds. And now they are kind of on the run. Since their parents were sent to jail, they were put in a boat and just off the island to another place where they have to kind of adjust to their new way of life. The episodes are a bit shorter than ordinary anime, and apparently it's Chinese. Next up we have A Place Further Than the Universe, and it's about Mari Tamaki, and she tends to plan things and then don't follow through. And she has decided that for high school she wants a special memory, and therefore she's gonna take a trip. And she's gonna take this trip, she plans everything, she has her backpack, she has her best friend covering for her at school, and then she chickenas out and she goes to school anyways. Then Mari meets Shiratse Kobuchisawa, a girl whose mother used to go to Antarctica to study things there, I guess. And her mother disappeared, and now she has decided that she's gonna go to Antarctica. And Mari and Shiratse, they kind of get along, and Mari decides that she's gonna come along to Antarctica. And she's gonna raise all the money she needs, and they are gonna do this. So they start making up this plan on how to get it going. And they are talking about it in the convenience store. And in the convenience store, Hinata is working. And Hinata overhears them, and she decides, I wanna go too. I'm gonna come with you. So the 3 of them, they have this plan, and they have to kind of sneak up on the people planning this because they are not 18. So they have to have a plan on how to get aboard, and they are doing this. And it did not expect what I got. It is so sweet and funny, and sometimes it's really serious and almost makes you cry, or maybe cry a little bit. And then you're laughing, and it's so funny, and the characters are so sweet, and it's so well made. And penguins. There are penguins as well. Then we have Masamune-kun's Revenge, and it's about Masamune. And when he was a kid, he was quite chubby and not very popular, and guys were mean to him. But he was in love with Aragaki Aki, and he confessed to her, and she did not return his feelings. And now he wants to watch the world burn. Or rather, he wants revenge on Aragaki. So he leaves, he changes his name, he starts working out like a maniac, becomes ripped, and then comes back for high school. And now he's this good-looking guy, and he can kind of get away with a lot of things because he's mostly nice, and since he's good-looking, the girls are just swarming around him. And His only goal is to break Aragaki's heart. And Masamune, he comes to the school and he realizes that Aragaki, she has not changed as much as he has. She is known as the brutal princess, and she's very, very beautiful, so a lot of guys confess to her, and she rips them apart, turns them down in the most awful way she can imagine, just to keep them at bay, just keep them away. She doesn't want them. The show is not dark and menacing for the most part. It is actually sweet and funny. It kind of has the same air as a romance anime, but with a twist. Next up we have Barakamon. Seiju Handa is a calligrapher. He's 23 years old. He only does calligraphy. That is his whole life. He's a shut-in, so he kind of doesn't leave his house if he doesn't have to. He has only one friend, Kawafuji, and Kawafuji is his sort of manager and also gets Handa everything he needs, like, so he doesn't have to leave the house. But then one day there's this exhibition or sort of competition, and Handa, he has made his calligraphy piece and it's hanging on the wall, and there's an appraiser. He is looking at the piece and talking about it, and he thinks that it's not that good, it's quite general. He doesn't think it's all that it could be. And Handa, he's really, really upset because he puts everything he has into his pieces, and he gets really mad and he punches the guy, who is an old man with a back problem and a cane. That is not good. That does not make him popular at all. Actually, it's kind of dragged away, and then he is sent off to an island by his father. It's like, okay, you have to leave now. So he's sent off to this island, to a rural village where there are very few people, and he gets to live in his own little house because he lived with his parents before. And this house was used as a home base for the children in the village. So they kind of scamper off and the house is a mess, but there's one girl who doesn't take off. She's curious, she stays around, she's looking at him, and no matter how many times he throws her out, she comes back. And now he has to kind of go on a journey to find himself in this little island with the weird people, and they're not really weird, but he finds them a bit weird. And I loved it so much. It is so sweet with all the friendships, and he gets to know people and gets to know himself and develops, and I could really relate to the part where you're creating something and you feel really good about it when you're doing it, and then you look back afterwards and you're like, what did I make? What is this? And then why did I feel happy about it? And then you just question yourself and your whole life and everything. It's not that much about it, about that part in the anime, but I could relate to that. But otherwise it was just so sweet and so good. And now we have Denkigai. Denkigai is about a comic book store called Umanohone. But there are 7 employees. They're a bit younger, most of them. Some of them are still in high school. They are all a bit weird, and they have these nicknames that really fit them. The really tall guy is called Sommelier, and that is because he is really, really good at picking out manga for other people. They have sommelier parties where people just line up to stand in front of him, and he looks at them and he's like, you're gonna read this manga. And then someone picks it for them and they read it and they are just blown away, and it's amazing. And then we have Foo Girl. She loves zombies. Absolutely obsessed with them. The director is always filming everything. Hiyutan is not a shut-in. And that, I think, is some kind of ploy with the Japanese spelling of names or something. But she is not a shut-in. She loves people and talking to people. Kaneko loves taking pictures with her own camera and she always carries it around. Sensei is a manga artist and she got her nickname from when she announced that she was gonna get better than her favorite manga artist. Umio is the newest member of the crew and newest employee, and therefore he hasn't got a nickname yet. But Umio, he loves the manga that Sensei is making. He doesn't know when he starts that it's her that's making it, and he absolutely loves it, and he wants to help her out when she's about to miss a deadline. And we get to follow them when they are doing their job at the bookstore. They're packing books and sorting shelves, and they enter competitions, and there are parties, and they do things together, and it's really funny and a bit weird and sweet. All the animes in this episode are sweet. That's kind of the point. Like with a slice of life feel-good anime. It's that they are sweet and cute and you become happy watching them. Next up we have Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which was not what I expected when I watched it. I saw a trailer and I didn't expect really what I got. So don't watch the trailer, I would suggest. It's about Morioka, and she's 30 years old and she just quit her job because she has decided to become a NEET, meaning she's gonna sit at home and play video games or computer games. To be specific, she wants to play an MMO game, and she was playing one before, but that one has kind of been shut down, so now she has to find a new one. She builds her character, a guy she calls Hayashi, enters the world and starts gaming. Online, she doesn't tell anyone that she's a girl or how old she is. She wants to keep it very private. Online, she's another person, so just no personal talk. In the game, Hayashi meets Lily. And Lily has been playing for a while, but the two of them get along, and Lily decides to help Hayashi to level up and get better in the game and show her around. And they become friends, and Hayashi joins the same guild that she is in, and they're just having fun. Meanwhile, out in the real world, Morioka, she only leaves her apartment to go to the convenience store to buy food, and I think it's energy drinks that she buys a lot as well. But she's a complete mess. Like, she doesn't shower or brush her hair, she's just wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, which is completely fine, but yeah. And then one morning when she's out, she's sick, she has a fever, she's going to the store to get some medicine for herself, and she runs into someone and he elbows her in the head, and she passes out and is taken to the hospital. So that is what's going on in real life. This is the kind of show that you think that I'm just gonna watch 1 or 2 episodes, and then you accidentally watch the whole thing in one day. Oops. Yeah, that happened. As an introvert, I can kind of relate to some of the things that is happening and going on, which I thought was really funny because there are not that many introverts really in anime and manga. Not the ones I normally watch at least. And hopefully there will be a second season. I would really like a second season. I want to watch a second season. Yeah. Now we have Nodame Cantabile, and it takes place at a music university in Japan. And Shinichi Chiaki is kind of famous or infamous at the university. He is really good at playing the piano, and he also knows how to play the violin, and is really good at that, but the piano is like his thing. And he does not have any room for it in him to for people who are bad at playing instruments and music. He is no. And he actually wants to lead an orchestra, not play in it. And he's not a very nice person in the beginning of the show. So I was really like I did not like the show in the beginning. After 15 minutes I was laughing out loud, so it fixes itself. Be patient. Believe in it. Because it has high ratings for a reason. Chiaki meets Nodame, and she doesn't really know how to read music, but she's really good at playing by ear, and she plays in her own way, and they end up living next to each other, and she's a complete mess. Like, it smells so bad that he can smell it next door, and she has to go in and clean her apartment for her. Because she's just like somewhere up in the clouds, and it's all just music to her. And so what if there's some moldy food in the fridge or on the balcony? But Nodame and Chiaki, they are tasked with playing in the next school concert together, and their playing styles are not working together, and now they kind of have to find a way to make it work. And the contrast between Nodame and Chiaki, who Nodame is just a complete mess and Chiaki is just everything has to be perfection, and they just crash. And it's so funny. And lastly we have Polar Bear Cafe, and this is really different from the other ones that I've been talking about for this episode. And it's about Panda, who is a panda, and he's quite lazy. He likes to just laying around and eating bamboo. That is what he does. And he lives at home, and his mother has had enough. He needs to get a job, and she kind of vacuums him up, or tries to, when he's not doing as she wants. But yeah, he starts calling around looking for a job, and it's not going very well because the skills laying around being lazy and eating bamboo are not that attractive on the working market. He goes around and he looks for a job, and then he gets distracted by a butterfly, and he just walks around and he ends up at a cafe. And this is Polar Bear Cafe, and it is run by Shirokuma, which means polar bear in Japanese, as I understand. So Panda, he takes an iced coffee, he sits down, and he overhears Shirokuma and Penguin, who is a penguin, talking. And he hears that they need a new employee, or Shirokuma. Penguin doesn't work there. Shirokuma, he needs a new employee, and Panda, he offers, and Panda, he wants an interview, and he wants the chance for the job. And all the animals that have applied for this job suck. None of them gets hired. Shirokuma ends up hiring a girl instead, and Panda, he ends up getting a job at the zoo as a panda, and he's working really hard in his cage, laying around eating bamboo. On his first day he actually falls asleep and like sleeps almost the whole day, and everybody's like, get a job! I want a job like that. But after Panda is done working, he just goes over to Polar Bear Cafe, where a lot of the other animals is hanging out, and they talk and have fun, and they go on trips and just life. And it's funny to see how the characters that are animals, but humanoid animals, like they can talk, and then they go to the zoo, and the polar bear is not allowed in the area where polar bears are because he could get confused. There are a few things like that that are really sweet and funny. And that is it for this episode. If you decided to watch any of these animes, then please let me know down below what you thought about them, if you liked them, and if there's anything that I missed, let me know down below as well, and I'll try to answer any questions, or if you have anything that should have been in this anime, I would love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, and until next time, bye!